Hello, I am the Irish guy, and right, Premier League Gameweek 7. Wow. Let's take a look at what happened, shall we? Right, let's go. Tottenham 2, Liverpool 1. Oh, Liverpool. Oh, Liverpool fans. You poor, poor people. How devastated must they feel? I mean, truly. Imagine, you're away at Tottenham. You have 2 players less on the pitch. You've seen a perfectly legitimate goal chalked off for offside. You are seconds away from grinding out a priceless 1-1 draw. And then Joel Matip punts the ball into the top corner of his own net in the 96th minute. Oh, wow. There's testing your patience, and then there's that. Listen, Liverpool fans are riding up in arms right now, but I think those red cards were red cards. Yes, Curtis Jones' foot slipped over the ball, but he still planted his studs into Pape Sarr's shin.
Oh, he didn't mean it!
Lads, nobody ever means it. Do you think there's any modern footballers out there who are that dumb to try and snap someone's shin in front of a million cameras and when social media inspect every little thing and expect to get away with it? No, no, these red cards are always clumsy late challenges, not the work of a James Bond villain. Of course he didn't mean it. His name is Curtis, not Vinny, but it's still a red. He could still have absolutely shattered Sarr's leg like a twig. And Diogo Jota, who swipes him with both feet off the floor when he's already on a yellow card, and when his team are already down to 10 men, yeah, about as stupid as any decision made by any cast member in a horror film. Because of that, Jurgen Klopp has played the last half an hour trying to negate Postecoglou's fluid football with a 5-3-0 formation. Just wow. It's like trying to win at chess when you've only got 4 pawns left on the board, while your uncle's got all his castles, bishops, still has a queen and a sneaky hand under the table resting on your thigh. Yeah, you're probably not going to be the right headspace to win the match, or at least I never was. So I feel bad for Liverpool fans, but, yes, Luis Diaz battered in a goal against Spurs, the club he nearly signed for last year, when the Reds were down to 10 men, and somehow VAR didn't draw the line. They had to apologize for a human error, but, stop the conspiracy talk. I've seen Liverpool fans screaming about corruption. I know you're angry and emotional, but why? What possible reason would VAR have for deliberately conspiring against Liverpool? Do you really think anybody in the VAR studio would just give an offside goal, even if they knew it was onside, for the biggest game of the Premier League weekend, watched by about 10 million people across the world? Did they think they'd get away with that? No, it would be the worst evil plan in the world. It would be like me thinking I'm gonna go out there and rob a bank this afternoon in broad daylight without even wearing a mask and armed with just a yogurt spoon. Yeah, I wouldn't even be able to walk out of there with a stolen Kit Kat. Let's think about this rationally. This isn't Juventus and the Calciopoli scandal. This was human error. People aren't out to get Liverpool. Why would they be? Who's out to stop them? Manchester City? I mean, are they paying the blokes in VAR? The same Manchester City who right now are under investigation for 100 breaches of FFP. I mean, despite having the monster spotlight on them, apparently they're still bribing refs and paying VAR operators to deny Liverpool goals. Can you listen to yourself? Look, human error happens. It is a part of sport. Human error is the reason that Liverpool reached the Champions League final in 2005. I mean, Luis Garcia's goal didn't cross the line. Okay, I know you would have had a penalty anyway against Chelsea. I know, but I'm just trying to stick up for Mourinho. Listen, lads, I've been there. My most painful moment in sport was when Thierry Henry handled the ball twice to defeat Ireland in extra time of a playoff for the 2010 World Cup. If there was VAR back then, we'd have been playing in South Africa that summer, while Henry, Anelka and co would have spent that summer too embarrassed to leave their house. But it was a mistake. A simple mistake. I don't think the referee Martin Hansen was paid off by the French. It was human error. It happens in football. I mean, does nobody remember the 2006 World Cup when that defender was booked 3 times? I feel for Liverpool. You battled so well. You deserved at least a point, but to be exploring options. I mean, sack the 2 lads in the VAR studio by all means. Yeah, but court cases and corruption talk? No, it was human error. I mean, Watford once conceded a goal against Reading when the ball was 5 yards away from the net. Tottenham themselves scored a winning goal at the last minute at Old Trafford. It went about 50 yards over the line. Didn't get the goal. Was that game replayed? No. Tottenham then had to wait another 7 years to win at that ground. Look, people can react emotionally after such an unjust decision. I mean, do you know how desperate the FAI were after the Henry handball? We initially asked for a replay, and then when that was denied, we actually requested if we could both go to the World Cup, that we'd be allowed in as the special 33rd team, meaning that there'd be one lopsided group of 5. That was so incredibly desperate. So what were they gonna do? Just throw us into the final group with Spain, Chile, Switzerland, and Honduras, and completely mess up the stadium schedule in South Africa? It's like they thought this football match was a child's birthday party. No, it was the World Cup. Don't be absolutely silly. So Liverpool, I feel for you. You deserve more. But corruption? No. Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 4. Play the clip.
Just you watch. Arsenal are not winning this match. And if they do, If Arsenal win, I'll chuck a cup of hot chocolate in my face.
Oh! Why did I wear white? So, there, you happy now? Lads, I was sticking up for Antonio Iraola all week, saying that he was a promising, brilliant European coach who'd one day get the cherries into Europe. I was backing him so much that I thought he would eke out a draw against the Gunners. But. Oh no, instead he gets pumped 4-0. The cherries were absolutely awful in this match. 4-0. Bukayo Saka could have had an easy hat-trick, but instead gave his 2 penalties to Odegaard and Havertz. Why? Why is he not greedy? Does he not want a challenge for the Golden Boot? The guy's more generous than Harry Potter. I predicted that Arsenal would trip up here. Instead, they recorded their biggest ever win at this ground. If the Gunners had scored just one more goal, it would have been Bournemouth's heaviest home defeat in their entire history. That is embarrassing. Bournemouth had 1 shot on target all match. The Gunners absolutely grilled them like a cheese sandwich. Even Ben White scored. And Ben White has proven by now that he scores as many goals as a bloated giraffe. Nottingham Forest 1, Brentford 1. How is this a Super Sunday match? Who was going to tune in for this? It would be like KSI's company. Misfit Boxing. Thinking people are going to tune in to see a headline fight between me and Alfie Pottsharmer. Yeah, I mean, I think our mums might watch, but otherwise, everyone else would sooner eat lasagna off a public bathroom floor. Oh, by the way, I'm going head to head with Alfie at the Football Content Awards. If you want to click on the link in the description and stick in a vote for this community under Best Content Creator, come on, I'm going to be in the same room as my former boss. Yeah, seeing where that channel is now, he's probably going to chuck a sausage sandwich in my face. So go on, chuck in a vote and let's win this, you utter legends. Man United 0, Crystal Palace 1. Pathetic, with a capital P. I tipped Man United to have a great season and finish second. Instead, they embark on the worst start to a league season in 36 years. Erik ten Hag's team have lost 5 games this season already. The other 3 wins were just squeaky 1-goal victories over relegation-threatened teams. Christ, they were 2-0 down at home to Nottingham Forest. This is a putrid, wet vanilla pie of a start to the season. This is such a horrible start. It's been like sitting down to watch a film in the cinema with your obese Aunt Margaret. Yeah, 2 minutes into the movie, you hear that god-awful Nicki Minaj singing the theme tune. Your aunt has spilled Sprite all over your feet, whilst your popcorn tastes like your granddad's poo. This was the club's first Premier League match at Old Trafford since Brighton absolutely schooled them with a fork. And here they dominate with 77% possession of the ball. But I'm sorry, 4 shots on target against a team who've got the Grim Reaper's dad at the wheel. I'm sorry, I don't want to keep being mean, but Roy Hodgson looks like he used to chill with William Shakespeare. He looks a bit like Dracula before he started drinking people's blood. I'm sorry, but Manchester United fans have to say stop. How much longer before Erik ten Hag's job is under threat? People are celebrating because he kicked out Cristiano Ronaldo and has made Jadon Sancho cry, but the performances on the pitch are absolute wet dirt. When was the last time Man United had a truly convincing Premier League win? Probably back in May when they thumped Chelsea 4-1, and before that, I don't know, beating Leicester 3-0 in February. But ever since that 7-0 embarrassment at Anfield, this team has looked like a shaky stuffed turkey of a team. I'm sorry, but to lose at home to this Crystal Palace side, letting a Denmark centre-half Joachim Andersen thump in a winner. Here you had new marquee signing Sofiane Amrabat filling in at left back, and typically looked about as comfortable as someone letting a rat chew his hair in the bath. Jordan Ayew is not even a scary proposition. He's about as terrifying as Bugs Bunny wearing a skirt, and yet poor old Amrabat, having to mark him, oh, he looks so frightened, like an 11-year-old who just snuck into the latest Saw film. This was hideous for Man United, but to be fair, great result for Palace. Hodgson has not lost any of his last 5 Premier League games at Old Trafford, with both Palace and Watford. He's only lost 1 Premier League game at Old Trafford since 2012, and even that was only his first game in charge of Palace, coming up against Jose Mourinho in 2017. Not bad, Roy. Aston Villa 6, Brighton 1. Put some respect on this prediction.
Aston Villa 3, Brighton 1. I think Ollie Watkins is going to bag a hat-trick. Brighton might squeeze a late consolation through a Joe Pedro wonder goal. Oh yeah, this is going to be a pretty easy, comfy Villa win.
Before this weekend, Ollie Watkins had only scored 1 Premier League hat-trick in his entire life on his Aston Villa debut 3 years ago against Liverpool in that freakish 7-2. That was so long ago, back when we were all locked inside having to eat 10-week-old pizza out of our neighbor's bin. Watkins has played over 100 Premier League games since and not netted a hat-trick. So how am I pinpointing the exact rare moment where he scores his next one? A hat-trick for Watkins is rare. It hadn't happened since 2020. How am I doing this? How did I know? People like to say that I got the prediction skill of a blind slug, but I'm sorry. No, I've clearly been touched by an alien overnight because this is amazing. 3 goals. A hat-trick against a team who were 3rd in the Premier League and who'd recently dominated Man United at Old Trafford. To be fair, I did say it would be a 3-1 Villa win. It was a 6-1, but honestly, put some respect on this prediction. Thank you, Ollie Mers, for not bringing out any more garbage tunes recently, but also, thank you, Watkins. As for the game, Brighton, apart from a 15-minute spell after half-time, were absolutely feeble. But I'm not that shocked. Roberto De Zerbi has done a good job at Brighton, yes, but we've seen the bloke being linked with the jobs at Real Madrid and Manchester City recently. Listen, I blame my own memories because they probably left me twisted, bitter, and cynical. But lads, I've seen this exact same trajectory before by another hipster coach called Roberto Martinez. When he was Wigan boss, it was the same. He had a little pudding club playing absolutely beautiful football on the floor. I mean, like Eddie Howe right now, he had also inherited an ugly, grueling orc of a team from Steve Bruce and managed to convince them to pass the ball on the floor instead of being a glorified rugby team with a bunch of players who were clearly missing teeth. I mean, once he cleared the Steve Bruce pies out of the fridge, Wigan looked great. Martinez was also linked with stupidly massive jobs. His own chairman was tipping for both Barcelona and Real Madrid. Yeah, here's just a few results where Martinez's naive little Wigan were ripped apart like a badger's corpse. 5-0 defeat to Man United, 4-0 defeat to Arsenal, 4-0 defeat to Portsmouth, 9-1 defeat to Tottenham, 5-0 defeat to Man United, 4-0 defeat to Bolton, 8-0 defeat to Chelsea, 4-1 defeat to Blackpool, 4-0 defeat to Blackpool, 6-0 defeat to Chelsea, 4-0 defeat to Man United, 4-2 defeat to Sunderland, 4-0 defeat to Arsenal, 5-0 defeat to Man United, 4-1 defeat to Sunderland, 4-0 defeat to Man United, 4-1 defeat to Chelsea, 4-0 defeat to Liverpool, and 4-1 defeat to Arsenal. Lads, it must be stated that in the autumn of 2011, Wigan lost 8 Premier League games in a row. How was he not sacked at Wigan?
Wigan boss Roberto Martinez is willing to sack himself.
Oh, come on! Even he was shocked to still have a job. How has he since gone on to coach Kevin De Bruyne for 7 years? How does Cristiano Ronaldo now have to call him boss? But that is also De Zerbi. He is Martinez. He plays pretty adventurous football, catches everyone's eye, but like Prince Andrew, he's developing a nasty habit of being exposed. Lewis Dunk is trying to pretend that this is a one-off. But look at April, May of last season. There's no bigger clue of Brighton's inconsistent results than this. They beat Chelsea 2-1, Wolves 6-0, Man United 1-0, and Arsenal 3-0. Yeah, great. They also lost 3-1 to Nottingham Forest, were thumped 5-1 at home by Everton, and conceded 4 at Newcastle. Brighton are being slowly found out. Can we please stop the Real Madrid links for De Zerbi when his team defend like an absolute gang of cartoon mice on a routine trip to Villa Park? Great win for Villa, but Brighton, they were rubbish. Everton won, Luton Town 2. Play the clip.
Lads, I am virtually guaranteed at least 1 more week, probably 2, without having to have a milk shower. Lads, Everton are being presented with such an easy home match with Luton Town. Lads, I am so confident in this. If Everton somehow are in the relegation zone after this game week, then not only will I do my milk shower, but I'll do it 5 times. Because there's no way Everton lose this match. Not to a bunch of terrified static snowmen like little Luton squad.
No way Everton lose this match. Look, I am so grateful that Everton are not in the relegation zone. I am spared 5 milky showers in a row. But they're only 1 point above the relegation zone, and I've already talked about Bournemouth. I don't think they're going to be down there long, so is this it? Am I in for a season of regular milk showers? Do you not know how much of a fat pudding I look now that Everton have lost again? I said there was no possible way they would lose to Luton. And guess what happens? They go 2-0 down inside the first half an hour. Goals from Tom Lockyer and Carlton Morris, who seemed to morph into prime Drogba for that second goal. I am angry that Everton maybe once again look like about the IQ of an obese frog. But Everton fans, they must be absolutely fuming. Losing at home to Luton. Lads, imagine going back 10 years when this club were rotting in the confidence, while Everton were challenging for the Champions League spots. Imagine predicting that within a decade, this little pub team built into a garden shed will be taking all 3 points from Goodison Park, while Ross Barkley would be in their reserves. Put it in context. I mean, if Barkley was 19 years old now, he'd be worth an easy £100 million. Yeah, it'd be like me predicting that Jamal Musiala in 10 years time will be struggling to get game time for Blythe Spartans as they leave Tottenham's ground with a win in front of the match of the day cameras. Just complete and utter nonsense. I'm gonna say this: Dyche out? Maybe? Because this start is not what I envisaged for Everton. It's been brutal. Just 4 pitiful points from 7 matches. It's an absolute disgrace. If you're going to sacrifice style for substance and sell your soul to inflict this Neanderthal style of gargoyle brand football, then at the very least, you must get results. It reminds me when Newcastle hired Sam Allardyce in 2007. To be fair, they had a semi-decent start of the season, but soon went 6 games without a win, lost to Derby County, the worst team of all time, failed to then beat them at home, were 3-0 down at home to Portsmouth after just 11 minutes, nearly lost the Derby to Sunderland, and soon embarked on a 13-game winless run and nearly got relegated. That smells of Everton's season now. It's also very horrible. West Ham 2, Sheffield United 0. Is this it? I talked up Sheffield United, promised the world they would show a response to losing 8-0 at home, and that was it. This was the response. A limp 2-0 defeat to West Ham. Sure, you didn't get battered again, well done. But still, this is now 1 point from 7 matches. People were predicting Luton Town would be the worst ever Premier League team, but I think people might have been sleeping on the blades. How is Heckingbottom still in a job? The clue is in the name. If he stays in charge, then by May, they will be Heckingbottom. Wolves 2, Man City 1. Wow, just wow. I did not think that Gary O'Neill had it in him to possibly outwit Pep Guardiola in a tactical match. Lads, Man City have now lost 2 games in a row. It's stupid to say this in October, but it has blown the title race apart. Well done, Wolves. Ruben Diaz scored an early own goal before Julian Alvarez banked in a wonderful free kick. But for Wolves to come roaring back, Wang Hee-chan to score the winning goal. But a special mention for Pedro Neto. I genuinely believe that he was now some washed up past it has been. Like Raul Jimenez, just another promising superstar ruined by injuries before he could get his big move. And I think everyone else did too, because otherwise he'd have surely left Molyneux by now. This is a man who's ruled out of the last World Cup for Portugal. I thought he was an injury-raveled little flea bag. The Portuguese Michael Owen. And something about his face just makes him look like he's 31 years old. But weirdly, he's only 23. Maybe he smokes heavily and sleeps on his face, but he's been absolutely magic this season, so fair play, Pedro. This is the Neto who tore up football in 2020. Lads, Wolves somehow beat the best team in the world 2-1, despite having just one shot on target. It sounds like Homer Simpson's game plan against Judrick Tatum. Like, how? This result has to be the biggest fluke of the year. But I will say this, Man City do not have a big enough squad anymore. They played the entire second half with Oscar Bob in midfield, a promising young 20-year-old forward who did well at St. James's Park in the Cup midweek, but he's failed to even get a single cap for Norway yet, and has pretty much 0 minutes of men's football to his name. He wasn't even allowed out on loan ever, so he spent his entire teenage years just playing underage football. The fact he wasn't given a single minute of senior football in any competition last season, despite being 19. Oh, please stop comparing it to Messi on Wikipedia. He's more raw than a pumpkin in July. Newcastle 2, Burnley 0. Yeah, pretty standard this. A comfortable Newcastle win at home against a team they should be beating. And yeah, it was pretty drab, but comfortable 2-0 win, and that's all that matters, thanks to a Mickey Almiron wonder goal. Almiron is one of the most one-footed footballers in the world. How do defenders not just show him onto his right? I promise you, if you do that, if he's forced to use his right foot all match, it'll look a bit like someone with arthritis trying to play croquet, just hopelessly swinging and swinging. Honestly, Almiron, how does he keep scoring so many wonder goals? You'd think he'd be easy to defend against. Anyway, that's the video. Let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think of this game week. Let me know if you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to connect. As always, I'll talk to you in a while.